Let's see what happens.
And for the defense of Fusion, it's going to be a reset. Beast Halo coming out here on that anchor tank. And Alarm once more going, why should I be just shackled to Zenyatta? Why can't I let out my inner Australian biker gang?
Why can't he do the shackling, right?
Yeah,
With
exactly.
the hooks and make sure everyone's kept down. And, you know, Alarm hasn't, like, really shown up quite yet, had a great performance, but I mean, he's not dying easily as that Roadhog, and that's really ultimately all you can ask for. Maintain the threat there, the threat level up against the opposing team. Right now, Mayhem Academy not showing much in terms of their cards quite yet. Hagapun just playing Librarian here with the Symmetra, wrangling up all the books, but he should be swapping off soon. It looks like might be a Quasi-Goats Cup. This is an odd one. There we go. We've got some swaps coming out.
Yeah.
But Mayhem Academy still trying to figure out what they're going to run.
Well, they're designed to do almost old school full dive, but throwing a Moira into the mix. Who needs a Zenyatta after all? Which means that they will have a little bit of an edge if they can bring it into tight corridors where they can go for that. And, oh, who are you? Just got deleted. The double attack between Shax and Apply. But it might be all for naught. Fusion able to deal with the other end of that dive pretty well. But hey, Paintbrush on the support V supports and gets Elk. They're gonna deal with the resurrection element, and now Fusion's in a very tenuous spot.
And this is great. Shax gets some great damage off onto Zachary. Will trade away 1-for-1, but still, that's a Tracer for a Widowmaker. And so Shax will be able to get back here much quicker. Now here comes the offense once again. Mayhem Academy jumping right on top of Beast Halo. They have no support whatsoever quite yet, so they instantly burn them down.
Yeah, the second dive is way more effective. And Fusion University, they're never really able to recover from the damage of the very first dive, where it did enough, it set the table for the second dive, and now Mayhem Academy is going to be powered up as they look to get in the point B.
And that was the point of Shax going for that exchange, right? He wants to make sure that he can get some damage off, because that is damage that's going to stick. The Mercy is not there. And so they're going to continue this push now as they move on to point B. They're going to have the self-destruct. Hagapun getting close to that Coalescence, but it's Apply that I'm looking at with that Dragon Blade. Who Are You now has swapped off onto the Brigitte to try and play that counter dive style.
And Apply, he's almost there, has the blade up, and he knows he has an opportunity. Brings it out, looking, but the opportunity is evading him right now. Dashes, doesn't get what he's looking for in the least, and Fusion evade the blade. And as a result, it's going to be Beast Halo dealing with those who are diving in, with the blade falling rather dull. It's going to be Fusion University solidifying here on point B.
And evade is the key word there, right? Because they also had Alarm swap over from the Roadhog over to the Moira. Look, he's already almost got his Coalescence, by the way. But yeah, he swaps over to that Moira, and the Fade is great to get away from the blade. You get the extra movement speed. You're not targetable. You just get away. And so he's not able to get the dash resets, nothing. Apply is now going to swap off. When in doubt, goats it out. Mayhem Academy are going to barrel towards point B.
Don't know if it's going to work this time. Fusion is well prepared, and not the least as Beast Halo has the Earth Shatter ready, just waiting for that shield to break. Has his finger on the trigger and drops the hammer. Knocks down two. His fall through going to be there. A line certainly smashed against the wall. And that was all sorts of good for Fusion, as, I mean, Beast Halo was well set up for that.
They're even going to be able to get the rally at the tail end there, so everyone should walk away with shields. Fusion University want to get more off of that. Why not? You know, if they take some damage, the passive of the ultimate is still there to give them some extra shield. But now it is over, so they will fall back. And taking a look now, they've almost got the Graviton. They might be able to combine it with Bernar's self-destruct, but Mayhem are going to go ahead and try and counter that as they have swapped Shax off over to that Pharah.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is they do such a wholesale swapping that what do you have to actually power through here? You're nowhere close to an ultimate. You're just hoping to get a pick off, to drain some power out of Fusion here. If they can drain the Graviton, that's basically a win here. Now, no, Shax doesn't have anything going at him right now, but there's the grab. And of course, the grab is going to lead to Fusion getting some pretty early eliminations here. Shax still brought back up, but you take a look at Zachary, right? The fight is winding down. It's an edge to Fusion. He's super charged up, getting so much charge off the Diva on the other side. It already gives him almost 40% to another grab.
And I thought that was kind of wishful thinking coming out from Zachary just to get it on to Shax. I think, you know, he was thinking Paintbrush should be right there close to him. I'll get both of them. But just getting the Pharah alone was good enough to force out the res from Paintbrush. And we have to remember when a Mercy's rezzing, she is not healing. And so Fusion University were really able to capitalize upon that now, but Shaxx able to just pepper away, was able to build up this barrage. Now they have to be careful.
Yeah, the barrage is ready. Now it's just about moving it in. Gets the barrage on the opposite side, catches out Who Are You. The Brigida is down, but it's an even trade, 1-for-1. Gonna see the Valkyrie come in from Paintbrush. I don't really think that Shaxx was very responsible. Zachary again, melting people down, charged up, ready to go, 95%. He's gonna have a grab for the next fight because of what he did just here.
A lot more ultimates are coming online too. Zachary, of course, yeah, he has a Graviton Surge, but Who Are You's got another rally for his team coming at a very valuable time now. You can pop it earlier or just wait a little bit. I would honestly, at this point, wait a little bit for Mayhem Academy to make their presence known and then use it so you can have the duration of it. Now, they're also going to have that self-destruct shortly. Bernard sitting at 85%. Mayhem Academy coming in with 3 of their own. They've even swapped off Hagopun onto the Ana.
Look to Zachary, though. Zachary isn't trying to give away that he has grab here. He's playing really far back, but he can drop the grab at any point. Shaxx still being a throw to the top. There's the Graviton. Where's the fall through? Zachary, he's his own fall through. Gets Paintbrush out of it. Deals with Krems. And now, as a result of that grab play, Zachary, he's so deep right now. 50% energy in the dream. He goes, give me another grab. I want another grab. Takes down Hago, and now he knows well enough to back out. He's going to get out of the danger zone.
And a lot of shield was maintained through that too. Who Are You did use the rally in the last fight. Zachary, I don't think his shield has ever gone from the rally about 2 rallies ago. But Elk just lost his as the poke came in from Shaxx. Shaxx now sitting with another barrage here. This time he doesn't have to worry about the Graviton Surge as he makes his approach in.
Yeah, I mean, he's had very good approaches here. There's not much to stop him. The Dragon buys some time, and now he's going to wait. Does he want to drop it now? He knows if he does it in the wrong time, he's going to immediately end up falling. But Shaxx holds the barrage and drops it! Takes down 2, and he's going to survive. The healing was there. Mayhem now with a great opportunity. Finally, patience paying off on the other end. And you see a line, making room in the back, bopping and booping. But is it going to be enough? They're going to get their first tick here in a moment, but you look to Fusion University. There's a chance for the turnabout here because you see Beast Halo. He has the Earth Shatter. He lays the Shatter right down. But I'm not sure the fall through is there. The rest of the team not quite in the moment as Mayhem continues to hold on.
Fusion University are trying to go for that dive now as Who Are You has swapped over to the Genji. Bionic Nade connects onto Beast Halo. He will not be receiving any heals, but it's Krems now coming on in. Who Are You has fallen. Shaxx free in the sky to do all the damage he wishes. Coalescence comes out, but it might be too late. Alarm is the only one left here with Zachary going over to the emergency Doomfist. Nothing of it. Mayhem Academy will finish it off, and crucially with 2 seconds above 1 minute.
Those 2 seconds that very well could lead to victory. But unlike the last time on Volskaya, much to just the incredible rejoicing of me, to be frank, we're not going to have the 8-round Volskaya twice in a row because I might literally die.
We would all die, honestly. At that point, if we go through like 16 rounds of Volskaya, that would be our trajectory for the evening here. But
I mean, that's basically invading Russia in the winter. You just don't do it. It doesn't end well. Let's put it that way.
Well, I mean, you can try, just don't fight a war on 2 fronts, which is kind of what was happening here. Mayhem Academy were able to slowly pick apart Fusion University. Shaxx in the sky, along with Apply on the ground there. And of course, that double threat. Of course, Hanzo on the ground, along with the Pharah in the sky. It was just too much for Fusion University to finally deal with.
And Fusion, as they look to their own attack here, I mean, this is a very beatable time from the Mayhem Academy side. Granted that you're never assured to get point B on Assault. Let's be clear. Full holds happen on point B all the time. But for Fusion, for their track record on these maps, it is more in their favor than not. And you take a look at what they're going to run here. We kind of talked about the preamble. It's like, what can you expect? Well, they're a team that really likes running Genji, particularly on this map, and that's what we're seeing here from Who Are You, where he goes, yeah, actually kind of okay running the Genji. So some classic Who Are You action perhaps about to be in play.
But this isn't the normal composition that Who Are You's, used to playing the Genji into. We've got the solo support composition with Hagopun going over to that Roadhog.
Swap to goats, you have 12 seconds.
So yeah.
Live your dreams.
Maybe
satisfy your doubts.
Maybe they can hear you.
I'm actually going to
doesn't look like it.
I'd be very tilted if they swap the goats there, actually, because that's happened too much already.
I mean, the swap-off you want to see is, of course, the Pharah. What can this composition that Mayhem Academy are running really do? But Shaxx is, of course, going to be on that Widowmaker now. I mean, was on the Widowmaker, but still, she has to be careful. Now, who are you on the Genji? Not able to get any punish off. It's Beast Halo who gets punished. The halt, the hook, and of course all the control coming up from Apply, so the swap-offs are gonna come.
Oh no, don't do it!
When in doubt.
No!
And
don't!
there's no doubt when you have to go GOAT.
Please no, is that gonna be, oh God, it's happening again. We go again. It's GOATs. You lose one person, you're just like, I guess we go to GOATs comp now. Cowards.
Well, this composition is about, you know, making sure your Reinhardt can't play as a coward, so Beast Halo just plays the front line. But this is what Mayhem Academy does instead. They go for the high ground instead. They try and slow it down. And so it's Shax started all off. Elk has fallen.
Elk out of it immediately. Shaxo gonna fall to the other end. And it's another victory for your favorite barnyard animals as it's too much power. Who are you gonna swing the rocket flail to high effect? And yeah, just give the point up already. It's gone. Fusion gonna be everyone's favorite animal as they move in, take point A, and look to the horizon on point B.
I'm just so confused as to what happened there because they got the initial pick, right? They got rid of Elk, and that's huge. You get rid of the Lucio, so that means Alarm is going to be on the primary healing duty, and eventually he will run out of the healing resource. And then from there, you just allow Bernard to just sit on top of your Widowmaker and do whatever he pleases. That was odd. So Apply is now swapped off onto the Pharah as we move on to point B. Fusion University, they've got the Coalescence out.
And more importantly, you take a look, they have the Graviton up from Zachary here. Now it's loaded, he's waiting, and use it to anti-air when you really want to fire out of the skies. Just suck him on in with the power of gravity. Fusion, use the Graviton. Zachary, charged up and ready to go. Microwaving people on all sides. Beast Halo ends up being dinner for a dragon, but it's still a good opportunity for Fusion here. 5 people still on the point. Who are you? Swinging the flail. They're about to be at 2 ticks. Can they get a little bit more? See a line dropping on in. Gets one. Zachary is out, but the rest of Fusion still very much in. There are 2 ticks here so far, and no one's really dealing with Who Are You as he just continues to swing that flail.
You will be able to dodge that self-destruct now, and even though they had lost Beast Halo, here he comes, chugging back on in with that Reinhardt. Sound barrier is going to be used, allowing Beast Halo to start swinging upon them as we have the Earth Shatter come on now. Primal Rage is nano boosted, but he is being controlled this entire time. Fusion University complete this out. 4 minutes and 14-second advantage is what they will have in the second round.
Fusion, we lost one person, better swap GOATs. Well, it works out, 516 to 102. They're working at an enormous time bank advantage here. And I just wonder about the course of effect this is gonna have on what Mayhem is gonna run, where they're just like, oh, they just went to GOATs comp and won. Maybe we should go to GOATs comp and win. Where it's, to be clear, it's not in all-powerful strategy as evidenced by the fact that the team it is named after is not present here at Contenders, so it's not like you can run it all the time. But as a swap-up, it is dangerously effective, where even there, you saw Fusion, they evaluated the situation, said, yeah, this would be a good time for GOATs. Lose one person and swap.
This is where the quote from Anchorman actually finally makes sense.
Attackers
where, what is it, 60% of the time it works all the time?
Yeah.
That's been what's happening with the GOATs comps so far.
That doesn't make any sense.
But it makes sense in this regard. If you do swap off, it will work. But yeah, now...
can the GOATs comp be illegal in however many countries the quote was from?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because if the defense also run GOATs, that means at some point GOATs doesn't work. So the math kind of eventually, I don't know, trying to make it work here. But yeah, Apply is going to go ahead and go on a fact-seeking mission here. He goes out with that Sombra and then instantly recalls back.
I would love to see Mayhem lose one person here and then also immediately swap to GOATs composition. Just let the circle of life continue, but they don't have much time. It is 43 seconds, so that's about the only thing they could swap to here. That would make sense with the loss of ultimates after a change, but the engage is coming in. Fusion, hiding behind the Orisa. Zachary looking on the other side, nails the Lucio. Shax coming on in from the flank for Mayhem. Mercy in his sights, but his team dying all around him, and Alarm's gonna put him right in the grave. Fusion, just 20 seconds away from a very favorable position here on Blue Sky.
Now, luckily for Mayhem Academy, even though that entire push was mostly a wash, Apply was very close now to that blade. Just a few more shurikens, a nice dash. We'll get it to him. Halt, hook, very aggressive hold coming up from Fusion.
Oh, what do you got? Your team is dead all around you. It's a 4-on-6. You don't even have your blade yet as Zachary continues to pick people off and apply maybe some other day. Not gonna get the blade. Fusion University, you now have 5 minutes and 16 seconds left to get a mere third here in Volskaya.
It's gonna be a miraculous hold. If Mayhem Academy can defend here on point A, and that would just be to make it a draw. And ultimately, they still lose this match. So right now, Fusion University will walk away with the victory, but still we are playing for map score here. Every single map matters, and they want to go ahead and try their best to put that 4-0 on the board for themselves.
Well, they are well on their way to doing that. Just a mere third is all they need, and I mean, you could just go GOATS comp here. I mean, we've seen teams get a full third just off the pure intimidation power of that composition early on. And
I mean, they got 2/3 on King's Row off of it.
Yeah, just for free. It was basically an infomercial where go now and we'll throw in 2 ticks absolutely free. I miss Billy Mays. Part of my childhood, really.
Rip. I was more of a romp appeal guy. I don't know about you.
Oh, is that the guy who made the juicers?
I think it was the juicers. It was also the hairspray, you know, for balding men. Yeah. And then.
I mean, how does that even work? Like, okay, hairspray for balding. It's going away, and it's clearly like you have not cracked the code. I'm just letting you know.
It was a temporary measure, all right? As technology got better. I don't know if it ever actually did. But now here we go. It's going to be a full dive composition. Bernard going on to the Tracer. Triple DPS for Fusion University.
Yeah, this doesn't redeem you for going GOATS earlier. You're not fooling anyone. You have 5 minutes. You gotta hit the first sign of resistance and then just GOATS it out.
But if we run triple DPS, does that counter the triple tank that we ran earlier?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make you good people because you've swapped to this. I'm still going to be cynical. Well, so are you. Get dash on in. Looking for early damage to build this blade. Both the supports are gone though, so that 122 HP can only be healed by a health pack at this point. Nice chunking though on the reset. That's a good way to build smoke.
Now take a look at the flanking Winston and the Genji here. They don't have any heals though, so they've got to be careful. They're on a secret mission. For what? I have no clue.
4 minutes, 25 seconds left. Swap up coming. Bernard going to the Diva. Zachary going the Tracer. So they haven't quite transformed into GOATS yet. They wouldn't do that, I think, unless Who Use Blade does nothing. But they're going to transform into Old School Dive, which, by the way, still does not redeem them.
Nope. We've got the Zarya, we've got the Reinhardt. Who are you going to stick on this Genji, though? There it is. There's the Moira, there's the Lucio. Who are you is the only holdout now.
I mean, at least he's going to have a blade.
Is he your MVP for holding out?
Yeah, okay. I think he is. I think he has to be. It's the only way to justify this in my mind. Well, they're going to get a high presence here on the point. Who are you going to finish up building the rest of his blade? And he's not going to have a chill. He's going to drop the blade, go for the Widow. Dashes forward, ends up getting bopped around. Gets shacks anyways. Gets a dash, resets. It's not full GOATS, but it's probably going to be good enough. Fusion getting the final 2 kills here that they need. And now, of course, Mayhem is just struggling to keep anyone on the point. If they give up a third, it's going to be over. But I got news for you, Mayhem. It's over. Mercy can't really do much in that situation. And Fusion wins the series 3-0, but we still have a map number 4 to go.
There really isn't much you can do. There isn't much for us to say when there's a 5-minute time bank for Fusion University to capture a third of point A, so.
Yeah, I mean, really, that was lost way before that round, but I do think it was funny for Fusion, like, we're gonna do 3 DPS, this is good, right? No, you're not. You didn't fool anyone, Fusion. We know what your true colors are.
CP, I heard your soul leaving your body about halfway through the end of that map. You just sat back and you were like, you're all dead to me. Everyone here, just dead to me.
I mean, granted, if they ended up losing or ended up going to a draw, it'd be more judgmental. So I can't be like, ha, you didn't need to do this. But did you really need to? Did you really? I'm not convinced, Fusion.
So you're so disappointed. You're not mad. You're just disappointed.
Which is worse because that makes you feel even like people can deal with people being angry. I'm the disappointed thing that when you get from a parent that's just like, man, I feel like crap.
Right.
Anger after a while can subside to a cooler head, right?
Right.
But disappointment, that's already been thought out. Like there's a long chain of like thoughts there.
You
that
don't
lead
immediately
it.
go to disappointment.
Yeah.
You have to get to
Yeah.
disappointment. Well, we've been seeing the GOATS comp so much. So do you think that a Pharah is enough to counter that? Like what can fight against this very frequently seen composition?
I mean, I would point to what we've seen at times where it's been fought off on moments like Eichenwald second, right? Where it's really good positioning that pokes it across from the outside that doesn't let a team get directly into the point, but it's difficult to do that on Assault because unlike escorting a payload where it runs back and you have time to give, we've seen what happens when you give a GOATS comp time on an Assault map or the first point of a hybrid map, which is that you lose 1-2 ticks for free, and then your positioning just gets completely screwed as a result.
And also it is like that rock, paper kind of scissors feel that we have for these compositions right now. When you see the solo support composition on a point A defense, well, you just run hyper sustain. You have the Moira, the Lucio, and of course the Brigitte, and since you are going to be playing basically nose to nose, the Brigitte is consistently going to be getting her passive off and getting that large AoE heal over. So you just out sustain them at the end and bully them off the point.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, is that if you're running long-range things like, say, Widow or Hanzo, your window of opportunity is short, right? The way you remove a GOATS comp from doing what they want to do is that you get the Moira in the back. If Moira goes down at any point, fight is over. Brigitte goes down at any point, fight is over before they get on the point. The problem is that when a GOATS comp can get directly onto the point with all 6 being up, all 6 being good HP, and you're still just going, can we get a pick? Can we get a pick? And while you're waiting for something to break, you're losing tick after tick on the point.
Right. Well, other than GOATS comp succeeding in these rounds, Zachary was once again succeeding in just existing.
Yeah, I mean, not only was his Widow good, his Gravitons on Zarya were excellent on the defensive end where, I mean, you think of Zachary more on the hit scan end, but he was making the Zarya work rather well, and it was an impressive showing.
I mean, that's what we see throughout the history of Overwatch. Whenever we have like a hit scan DPS player having to flex on over to that, so seeing Sinatra going over to a Zarya himself earlier on before the OWL, he would build up these Gravitons super early, which is what Zachary was able to accomplish himself with that Zarya.
All right. Well, our next map we will be seeing is Gibraltar. No, Mayhem can't pick this up and take us into a crazy sweep, but what may we be seeing from both sides as we go into this map?
Not GOATS. Gibraltar is not a very good map for that composition because it's both escort and also the terrain isn't ideal. It's very easy for people to pick people off from the side, so the tyranny is probably over.
Yeah, this is where I see Apply having probably the most difficult portion, map so far in this series, even though he has been really performing throughout the other 3. This is where I don't think his Genji is going to be able to be as reliable, nor his Widowmaker, especially up against the kind of pressure that BSALO can really put on with the Winston on this map.
Well, I know personally, I really hope to see at least one team run GOATS just to piss you off, CP. And with that, let's play some Overwatch.
I'm just taking the headphones off and walking away. Like that's it. We're actually gonna go to YouTube, find a picture of GOAT sounds, just like put it on. It's like, it's good enough. It's good enough. It's actually probably better. Goats are cute. Just not in the Overwatch.
Not like baby goats.
Yeah, they're okay. They haven't stolen any tin cans yet. They haven't gone through your garbage. They haven't taunted you with the fact that they'll be way better mountain climbers by the age of 2 than you will be in your entire life, but yeah.
Hey, speak for yourself. I've been rock climbing for about 5 years now, all right?
You have nothing on a goat.
Yeah,
Don't even try and kid yourself.
But yeah, taking a look now, Fusion University, they're going to be starting off on the defense first. Who are you goes for this Doomfist? I wouldn't be terribly surprised. He has practiced this for a long time, and I've been waiting for him to use this more often. And this is a situation where he can test it out, so let's go for it. Who are you on the Doomfist for the defense? Mayhem Academy, of course.
It's going to break your heart.
No, he's not. It's too late.
He's
It's
going
too
to break
late.
your heart. He's going to break your heart. Is he going to stick with it? Yep, he's going to stick with it. All right.
Double sniper, though, for Mayhem Academy on the offense. Aplaya and Shax on the Widowmaker and the Hanzo, of course. Aligned will be going over to the Winston there, try and give them that high ground control, but it's going to be very difficult, especially with Who Are You there.
Well, Shax just looking for any opportunity on the left-hand side. Apply going from the right, so you got sniper pressure on both ends. And Fusion right now, Doomfist or no, isn't really looking to aggressively punish it. They're gonna hold a little bit further back.
Who are you allowing them to push up? Because that's gonna, you know, overextend Mayhem Academy, and that's what he's looking for. He's looking for someone to just pop out for even an instant, and that rocket punch will deal so much damage now. They are gonna go ahead and contest the high ground with Fusion, but it looks like they have to back out.
Early Dragon, apply, just gonna layer it in, and doesn't really get much of anything. In fact, while that's going on, Zachary punishes Shax, and the Dragon so off the mark that Mayhem Academy loses a lot of steam here.
Zachary does get jumped upon by a line, but nothing will come of it. It's Hagopun who takes out Who Are You? So it is now a 5v5. The defense, they're the ones that have the respawn advantage.
He's totally done in Doomfist. Is he actually gonna stand it? Yeah, no, he's done. I was just like, I don't think Who Are You has the patience to keep doing this. He had one bad run on Doomfist, he's like, I'm gonna get you.
Transcendence is used to top off Beast, Halo, and Bernard, who dropped low. Another Dragon comes out from Apply, but it's another whiff. Nothing coming of it now. Well, here we go. Line takes out Who Are You?
Should have stayed on the Doomfist, I suppose, but the res is there. Elk gives him his life as Bernard explodes the back line. That was actually pretty vital there for the Fusion, because I think they would have went the way of Mayhem if not for Bernard buying some room, and instead, from the backline, the line picks up 2, and the pressure still on right now for the Fusion.
Yeah, he had used his Primal a little bit earlier. Now he's already at 80% now, continuing to burn down members of the defense. But Fusion University are almost here back in full force. They'll be able to clean them up. And now Mayhem Academy, they're down to 1 minute and 45 seconds. Some swap-offs coming out as Shax is now going over to the Brigitte. Oh, they heard ya. They heard ya,
okay.
ZP.
Hopefully we'll see a masterclass of why you don't do this on Gibraltar. This is where, the problem is that Fusion, they're not running anything long range, but they do have a Doomfist back, and Zachary goes, I'll try the Doomfist.
It's my turn now. Who Are You's almost got the blade. He's getting so close to it, drops down to 60 HP, has to dash away.
Well, Who Are You has a blade set up, Transcendence out the support, moves on in, and he's gonna slice his way through this barnyard composition. And Zachary, a good punch for good measure. And this is why you don't see Goats comp as often here, because there's so many more ways you can deal with it. You have elevation, and you have room to work with.
Zachary, he's almost got the Meteor Strike now, after he was able to just lay down the combos with his Doomfist. Even gonna try and be sneaky up here on the high ground. See if anyone checks it, or if he'll just be able to get up from the top rope, goes in for the rocket punch, but was not able to finish off anyone.
Well, he was banking on getting enough damage to get an early Meteor Strike. That's why he was going that aggro. It didn't quite work out. He was 5% short. Now Fusion, they've overextended a bit. They need to back out. They have a little bit of room to give. Earth Shatter on the other end for a line, knocking down 2. Beast Halo's out of it. And the cheeky aggro play for the Fusion, not quite enough, but here's the thing about the Doomfist. People have to clump up so much that Meteor Strike can work. Well, he's dead. He's gone. It's over. It's gonna be the point to Mayhem Academy. I don't count that as a victory for Goats. I count that as a victory for don't overextend that hard. You're not always gonna get your ult.
Yeah, and so we'll see if Zachary actually sticks with the Doomfist, especially through the second phase here. It could work, but I don't know right now. This composition, it's full dive now coming up from Fusion University. They haven't been running a Mercy, so they do have the sound barrier. They can use this along with the Transcendence to try and go for the retake and slow down Mayhem Academy.
Well, it's a little bit weird because it's usually better if you're running from like Hanzo, Widow to pick it apart from the sides, but they're gonna barrier, answer by barrier in turn. Florida's gonna get punched, doesn't really care, and Zachary can't Meteor Strike in time. His sense for when the Meteor Strike on the hero, not really there. The Graviton gets Mayhem Academy clean up, and why is this working? Why is this a thing? Just, I don't know if we need the Doomfist, guys. It doesn't seem to be the play, as the superior ground pressure of Mayhem just easily pushes on through.
Yeah, again, trying to run a Doomfist into a Brigitte along with a D.Va is actually quite difficult. A D.Va can handle a Doomfist quite well, especially if he misses his Seismic Slam. She can one-burst him with her combo. And so that's what he continually put himself into. Here we go, the Meteor Strike comes out.
Yeah, I mean, this time he's not gonna try and go for max value. He's just gonna open up the strike. He gets Hagopun in the back. Who Are You does enough. Even as self-destruct gets 2, the Goats comp falls apart pretty readily once you have a few parts missing. So Mayhem Academy has no choice but to back out. Zachary, you gonna stand the Doomfist here? Nah, Who Are You's gonna swap. Feel like Zachary's probably gonna swap. A Widow would be fine here. I'm just saying.
A Widow would be fine.
Okay. Ryu goes back to
A lot of changes are coming out actually right now, yeah. As it's double sniper coming up from Mayhem Academy and Aligned and Krem swapping over, or well, Aligned swapping over now to that Winston. He's getting challenged on the high ground, but Apply instantly makes his name known on that Hanzo.
See, for Ryu, I'd say Ryu would be swapping the Doom just now, but Zachary is a little bit more resilient. I don't know if he's hit his pain point, but yeah, he's had enough. He's gonna go Widow. The swap that probably should happen a life ago. Beast Halo down. It's going to be an opportunity here for Mayhem Academy as both tanks for the Fusion are out of it.
Yeah, and despite they lose that team fight, they took it so far away from the payload that, you know, they can wait for their respawns. Mayhem Academy just now getting back onto the payload, so Fusion University should be able to come in for a full 6-man Alarm. Takes out Shax, and now he pushes forward with the trance. Alarm
finally saying, I've had enough. It's time for me to carry this. Get Shax on the other side. Gives Fusion some breathing room. Elk's going to drop the beat. Mayhem Academy, though, pushing on through. They have no choice but to go forward. They have a self-destruct in reserve. You know, with Hagopun down, it's going to be a big one from Krems as his team is falling all around him. Are they going to have to nerf you when it's all said and done? The self-destruct. Make some space on the point and gets Who Are You? Mayhem Academy, though, still working from behind. 3 members of Fusion to be dealt with. An Alarm, the wall that cannot be surpassed here so far. Krems going to get demech'd. No more remeching this time. Overtime ticks down, and the Fusion hold on second.
See, what went wrong is that Mayhem swapped off of GOAT CP. It's correlated right there. You saw it. They swap off of GOAT, they start losing fights.
I just can't look at you.
I feel like they took it like as a direct challenge to what you said on broadcast, and they're like, nope, we're doing this. We're running GOATs.
Okay, and Fusion would have been fine if they ran a normal setup there, but like, no, we're going to run Doomfist into this, where, again, Meteor Strike actually is pretty decent, making a GOATs comp split up, but what kept happening is that Zachary, the idea is that you go in, you use your abilities, and then you Meteor Strike right after, but Zachary was never able to get to that final part of hitting Q where he would get disabled, and then he wouldn't be able to use his ult, and then he'd just be down. So he went like 2-3 fights in a row without being able to Meteor Strike, and then finally he just says, screw it, I'm gonna actually go in with the Meteor Strike. I'm tired of getting stun locked.
Yeah, the Brigitte really does stop the mobile abilities of most of our heroes here, and especially someone who's really reliant upon, you know, rotating through the rising uppercut, the seismic slam, the rocket punch to really maximize his mobility. It really relies upon that, because when you're just down to your regular left click, right, your, I guess, primary fire from your left palm, it doesn't do much at all. You do need to be able to get in, get a few hits off, get the shields, stay as tanky as you can, get up to like an off-tank level of health, and then just continue the brawl and wait out for your cooldowns. But Brigitte, with her one-shot combo, just doesn't allow you to do that.
Well, take a look at Mayhem Academy, speaking of combos and setups, where they're going to be running a hybrid setup here. They will have the Brigitte and putting a lot of faith in Shax to be the Widow hero that they're dreaming of. And Elk, as they can know, Elk is in a mood to have... No, he's not in a mood to have fun. I was going to say, is like, go see the Ana sighting, and the answer is no. No, we're not.
Fusion University, they had their fun on the defense, and now they're just going to go standard. Who are you on the Genji? Zachary, of course, once again on this Widowmaker. Shax gets the heads up against him. See if El can actually get up there with the Guardian Angel. He can't.
He doesn't even care. Yeah, he doesn't want to go back there, and also it's so close to spawn, it's like,
Yeah.
Might as well save it. What's a big deal? Cardio's good for the body.
And no one's even contesting them on the low ground anyhow, so it doesn't quite matter. So Zachary will ultimately just not a single loss at all whatsoever. Maybe a little bit hits your pride.
I mean, pride is a dangerous thing to have wounded, but I believe Zachary will live. He's done plenty of damage even without the pickoffs here. 50% to his ult already. As Mayhem Academy need to dig in here because the real battle about to begin. Shax ult to the back for the pickoffs. Fusion not really giving him the greatest of sightlines here so far. Meanwhile, Shax has to be eternally vigilant of where Zachary might be because he doesn't know right now, and he had an opportunity to like, finish off Beast Halo, but Beast Halo barely able to get away.
Now we already have the Valkyrie coming out from Elk here. Hagopun takes out Who Are You, takes things into his own hands, and so that Valk just might go to waste, but until Zachary comes back in, answers back, takes out Shax.
Paintbrush has to get Shax back up. He's too vital for this composition. Both teams down Widows right now. And that is going to be Shaxx out of it. So this is a nice opportunity. Zachary brought back up. Fusion working with a big advantage right now. But Align is dominating a lot of space in the payload, has Primal Rage in reserve. Meanwhile, we look to Who Are You as both teams trade out. This is where Dragon Blade can come in and set the stage. Oh, well, Who Are You gets stunned, barely able to get away. Brigitte can't finish the plate, but it is getting gummed up a bit.
I love seeing that though. Apply, you know, he does play the Genji himself, and now he's on that Brigitte. He's like, where's Who Are You gonna be? And he was waiting and camping out that spot. Now Beast Halo onto the back line, tries to get onto the Widowmaker, but does not want to chase too far. Who Are You with the blade as the self-destruct comes out, but Apply takes down Bernard.
Bernard down, Who Are You in, blade right to the back, slices down Shaxx, and Dash resetting his way through. The damage has been done all the way to the end, and Fusion has everything they need to bring this forward into point A. Krem's the last remaining survivor, but not for long. That is dominance from Fusion, set up by the blade, and now they move into point B. See if they can keep the momentum up.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the Brigitte one-shot combo if you kill her yourself. And so that's exactly what he did. The first target was, of course, onto Apply, but he knew the cooldowns were down, right? Apply had just taken out one of Who Are You's teammates just a moment before, so Who Are You felt comfortable going in with that Zachary with a cheeky peek through the luggage. Will be able to take out Shaxx, forcing out the res from Paintbrush.
Gets one more, and it's just pretty much the doom of Mayhem Academy here, where again, they need Shaxx to do a lot to make the composition they're running work. He is the workhorse of their damage, and he's on his final life. Zachary ends up with a Brigitte in his face of all things. He's back up just a bit. Mayhem Academy fighting for their lives right now. A one team fight margin.
Yeah, that's what you get for bringing a gun to a rocket flail fight, right? But now, yeah, Fusion University on the cusp. They've got 3 minutes to just finish this out, to secure the 4-0 in this match. And now, they've got a lot of information they have to contest against, but it's Shaxx dropping low on the back line. He's
gone.
1 HP. It's Who Are You who takes him out.
The threat is out of there. Krem's tried to answer with self-destruct. That gets nothing. A 2-man edge to Fusion in the fight that if they win, it's going to be over. See Beast Halo, distraction into the back, bouncing people to and fro. Zachary continues to clean up, makes it 3 before it's said done. And that's a victory blade coming up for Who Are You. The Fusion going to be finishing this out 4-0 over Mayhem Academy. And let the record state that they did not have to goats it out here in Gibraltar.
But someone did.
Yeah, well, Fusion was running Doomfist, so I'm not sure how I feel about that entire exchange. You probably shouldn't run it on Gibraltar.
I am so confused. Why did Zachary stick with Doomfist for so long? What was going on there?
Gonna give you a 4th grade response. Because. That's it. Because. You don't need a reason, just because.
Because. Felt like it.
I mean, they had already secured the series, right? So they, of course, they can just
it was like,
mess around a little bit, and I think they were
not?
having a little bit more fun there. And Doomfist isn't a hero that you actually get to get that much practice with, right? He just isn't practiced.
That's true. I don't think I've ever seen a Doomfist ult, or not ever, but in competitive play. Like, it's very rare to see it, so it was interesting to see something so different.
But also Zachary had to take up the mantle, right? Where Who Are You was on the Doomfist in the beginning, and you know, I know Who Are You's personality where he gets frustrated at things he doesn't want to do. So I saw him like have a rough go at Doomfist and be like, you're gonna swap. And what does he do? He swaps. He's like, I'm just gonna play Genji. Like, get me off.
It's
this
pretty
hero.
palpable. Like when Who Are You starts tilting.
Oh, it was so obvious.
Yeah.
But when he switched to the Genji, boy, did he switch to the Genji. Like, my goodness,
I mean, this is just
popped
classic.
off.
Yeah, this is just classic Who Are You here, and that's what we expect of him.
It's like this is why a sword is kind of better than a fist at times. At least in the hands of Who Are You, where he's not tilting off the face of the planet while trying to play Doomfist.
Right, exactly. But I still can't believe you cursed yourself, and we saw Goat's comp happen on Gibraltar. I'm gonna get you like a goat plushie.
It didn't win.
It didn't win. But we saw it.
Didn't win.
But we saw it.
Unfortunately. Yes. Yes, we saw the fatal composition on the map you should not see it on, but didn't win.
It didn't win. No, if it won, you would have been so salty.
Yes, you could absolutely just overtake any sodium for the day just by looking my general direction. I would be emitting salt like a superhero with a bad quirk.
I love that most of these highlights are just Zachary being amazing and just headshotting to all hell and back. Like, he's phenomenal.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly what we expected out of him. He had a solid season last in Contender Season 1, and he's continuing that trend here in Contender Season 2. Now, he's just more enabled because Who Are You is also very present during these regular season matches, where before, Zachary had to hyper-carry a lot of their maps and a lot of their victories throughout Season 1.
Right. It's not just one Sherpa, it's two, sharing the load, if you will. Well, even though we did not see Mayhem Academy really take this, what can they do better next time?
I mean, I think they've improved every game here so far. They've been up against very tough competition, but I mean, certainly find more opportunities to support Apply, where Apply had very big breakout moments. I would say, as much as we've been starking, be aware of switch ups to Goats Comp and have a plan where you can't give up teams for free on these points, and the more that teams are doing research and they're seeing that, hey, the random goat swap is working, you got to be prepared for it. You can't just let Fusion come in and be like, I guess we're going to grab a full point. Can't happen.
Yeah, and for a team, especially one of the only Academy teams that really retooled their roster, this is still looking good for them right now. There are slivers of hope, and especially with Apply popping off the way he does, Hagapun has been having a pretty big impact on a lot of these matches as the Zenyatta player. Align coming in as the main tank himself has had moments, but these are things that there are still things that need to be fixed, and it looks like overall cohesion is the biggest issue right now, but that's kind of what you expect when you have like this new roster just thrown together.
Right. Well, we have seen Goats, we have seen Widowmakers, the Group A score curse has officially been broken, and coming up next, we're going to see Second Wind going up against GG Esports Academy, so you're not going to want to miss it. Stick around.